if these allegations are true, I mean, Chris, you know, stuff like this can F up your mind for life.
Oh,
I mean, I say that based on my experience. About 4 women have come forward telling me about sexual abuse in the business. And bro, they're messed up.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of the Wrestling Outlaws. I'm here with the Outlaws themselves, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion Vince Russo, former TNA Heavyweight Champion twice over, and the NWA former World Heavyweight Champion that makes him an EC3 World Heavyweight Champion. EC3, how are you today?
I'm better now that the horn hit. I got rubbed down by a big man with big, strong hands. My body's feeling good. I just got out of my sauna blanket. I'm rolling on some Zins. Let's rock and roll. Let's talk some smack. Let's bring the business to its knees with our wit and our charm and our intellectual abilities. Let's bring the hammer down on all the nonsense and give the people the cold, hard facts that are our opinions, because facts do not exist in media.
Boom. EC3, I know that you like your wrestling history trivia. What was Larry Zbyszko's kind of like intro little gesture that he would do on Nitro every time he would be introduced?
It was like something like that.
Not quite.
Close.
That was this. He would do it.
Sorry, Vince had me hooked on Raw. You know, I'd only watch that.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. It was a nice comeback. Nice comeback. Yeah. The living legend, Larry Zbyszko, man. He's actually going to be on a movie for my friend Glacier, Ray Lloyd, and him and Haku and a whole bunch of other wrestling legends, man. So go check that out.
Hold on. We've been buddies this long, and I'm just now learning you're friends with Glacier?
I am friends with Glacier, yes. Yes, I am. Yeah, Ray's a really nice guy. He's a very nice guy, yes, indeed.
You think you know all the wrestling stories? There's more you haven't heard yet. Join us on Backstage Pass.
All right, man, let's talk about what is not friendly. Another lawsuit, ladies and gentlemen, has been issued to the McMahons, the McMahons, and I'm actually going to read a bit of it. It has to do with the old Ring Boy scandal that is resurrected, and that has been up now. So
I'm unfamiliar with the Ring Boy scandal. Could I get
Vince, you want to fill him in?
brief synopsis?
Brief synopsis. There used to be a ring announcer called Mel Phillips, and allegedly he used to hire all the ring boys, and he hired very young boys, and he had a foot fetish, and there was some alleged activity. And not to make light of the subject, one of the ring boys, EC3, went on later in life to commit suicide.
That's horrible.
So he was messed up big time. So this was late 80s, early 90s.
What did the Ring Boys do? Like, what was her job description?
Putting up the ring. Just putting up the ring.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
there was alleged sexual activity with the Ring Boys and Mel Phillips. Kind of non-consensual. So alleged. So that's came back up, and unfortunately that has been going on with the statement. They have a statement. I'll try to find it as we go. Vince, what are your thoughts on this scandal coming up 40 years later? Roughly?
Well, bro, here's what I don't. Here's, bro, the plaintiffs. The are they called the plaintiff? Are the people accused called the plaintiffs?
Defendants.
Accusing.
The defendants.
the people accusing of the plaintiffs, the defendants.
The defendants that were allegedly active in the acts, they're all dead. They're not with us anymore. Pat Patterson's not with us anymore. Garvin, Mel Phillips, they've all since passed away. So a part of the lawsuit is Vince McMahon and Linda McMahon knew about it. Yeah. Chris, I don't know how you prove that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you prove that they were privy to what was going on, you know?
Yeah, I reached out to Greg, the attorney, earlier today, actually. Haven't received anything back. Looks like he was able to be on an interview somewhere. I want to give him credit. I think it was, I don't remember who it was, but yeah, I did think he was able to get an interview in. But yeah, Greg Gutzler, he's the one who's leading the litigation, and so I'm waiting on a response from him, and I'll be sure to report it on my X. I sent him a list of questions as far as this. I mean, that was part of it. I mean, what are the allegations? What are the damages that's being sought after? You know what I mean? So I'm looking at the statement, and it's a bit vague. Basically, Greg said this. He says in the actual statement, he said, "Thanks to the bravery of our clients, we finally have a chance to hold accountable those who allowed and enabled the open, rampant sexual abuse of these young boys. That so many were aware of the sexual abuse." So that's the thing, Vince. That so many were aware of the sexual abuse of the Ring Boys and did nothing to prevent or stop it from is simply unconscionable. So that's basically the nucleus of why we're doing what we're doing. And it did say on the statement, though, it said the survivors only recently learned of the depth of the knowledge that the McMahon said and the WWE had about what happened to them. Only recently learned of the depth of knowledge that the McMahons and the WWE had about what happened to them, and that sexual abuse in the company started at the top with the McMahons. The filing of Grant versus WWE, the acquisition of WWE by TKO, and the ouster of Vince McMahon as CEO have all provided new insights and the possibility of coming forward without incurring the retribution and intimidation of the McMahons. This information, along with recent changes in sex abuse laws, has allowed them to pursue justice in this suit. So basically, because of the statute laws changing, they were able to litigate based on not having a limitation. So that's basically where they're at now, and they were able to do it. And I guess they were sparked by the Grant case. And yeah, I'm interested in knowing who the litigants are, and what are they seeking? I mean, who are they really spearing and really targeting? I know it says the McMahons. I don't know if that's Vince and Linda. So we'll see.
I think the lawsuit named Vince and Linda.
Vince and Linda.
Yeah.
Vince. Yeah, it says it. Yeah, Vince McMahon and Linda McMahon. Yeah. And TKO.
Yeah.
On behalf of 5 survivors of sexual abuse. So they're John Doe's 1 through 5. So they're not being identified right now. So EC3, you got something to share on that?
No, I just don't know how TKO gets involved. They bought into the company, right? But they're not liable because they were not in existence when this happened. So, I mean, I don't know. There's no fun in this subject. Can't we poop on something fun?
Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's one of the biggest buzzworthy topics going on right now in the world of professional wrestling. I am interested. I'll update on my X at Chris Prolific what Greg says.
What state is the lawsuit in? New York?
I think
Baltimore.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, Baltimore. You said state, Maryland. Yeah.
And then the statute changed. I mean, it's just why now?
I think why now, bro, is because when you look at the hot water that Vince McMahon is in, does he need more on top of this? Could this be a settlement?
Yeah. And then
I
but I just wonder how TKO could be involved and why it's not like, I don't know, a lawsuit against him or that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if TKO, if you know, I'll follow with Greg, but I am interested in knowing like why TKO, and I'm really interested in knowing that. Like that's just an acquisition, maybe because it's a WWE thing, maybe because TKO owns WWE now, so WWE through TKO perhaps, but
TKO is a thriving business that's killing it and making a bunch of money, so maybe, hey, we'll shut up if you pay us.
Right. Yeah.
Or this maybe alleged misdeeds. I mean, I don't know. This sucks. I went to wrestling school. Shockingly, I didn't go to law school, so I don't know how to comment.
And then, of course, lawyers, you know, they're like, hey, you know, it sounds. I mean, lawyers are businessmen. I mean, they're clients, and so they're like, hey, well, can I cast? I mean, they get a cut of. They usually get a pretty sizable cut of every case that they, you know,
majority of usually.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, well, let me look at the case. Let me see if it's winnable. Okay, it looks winnable. Looks like at least we can get a pretty solid settlement. Okay, well, case closed. I'll get a cut of it and see you bye. I probably won't even know your names in 2 weeks. You know, I mean, that's
thanks a lot, John Doe 3. Have a nice life. Drives off Miss Alpha Romero.
Yeah,
I do money flying behind him.
I do want to say, and Chris, like you'll know this because I've had experience, you know, with women in the business as it pertains to this. You know, bro, if these stories and these allegations are true, like I said, bro, one of the kids wound up killing themselves. If these allegations are true, I mean, Chris, you know, stuff like this can F up your mind for life. I mean, I say that based on my experience. About 4 women have come forward telling me about sexual abuse in the business. And bro, they're messed up. They really, like, they're messed up. So like my point is, if this stuff is true, bro, that's a real thing. If you're traumatized as a kid, like Chris, you can back this up. That does not go away.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It doesn't, or at least it's managed through therapy, but it doesn't mean it disappears. You know, you're able to manage it better. So
to be fair, too, just based on a lot of people I've interacted with and got to know personally, in addition to women, the amount of men I've heard, you know, confide in me and tell me about these things happening.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
No good.
Yeah, it reminds me of Ashley Mazzaro, man. You know, and just you know what happened with her and the things that she was going through, and just her. She's a case just like many others. You know, it became so just impactful in her mental health and from a negative standpoint because it was so just there was nothing done about it. You know what I mean? So the allegations were she was over, you know, seas. There was someone who came in and then, you know, essayed her. And then unfortunately with that, it was just kind of hush. And that was years and years and years of just brewing. You try to do life. You try to think away from it. So you try to get distractions. And that's all they are. They're distractions because at the end of the day, that still swells up because there's so many things. And that's how people develop triggers, man. There's so many things. I mean, the person can say, hey, my name's Joe. And they try to get distractions and they hear somebody named Joe and then boom, that's a trigger. You know, it's every time they go out of town or go on a plane or see the color red. Like it's so many triggers that can happen, and years of those triggers piling up, it gets worse and worse, man. And unfortunately, when someone decides to complete suicide, it's usually a pile up of years of triggers and trauma dealt from situations like that. So it's really sad.
And listen, man, look how many years and years and years it took for Rita Chatterton to have her day in court. She had her day in court, you know, and it was decades after the fact.
She got a settlement too.
Yeah, so. She did. Yeah.
All right, EC3. I think we're going to close on that one, man. Woosah. Let's close on that.
If I say one thing, no.
Go ahead.
I would say one thing, though. I think culture has become aware of this, and people can be seek help earlier and not be ashamed or fearful. So I think that's, if there's any positives, which there's none, that would be one.
100% agree. Yep. There's so much I can go into when it comes to therapy with people who've been sexually abused or sexually assaulted, and this is a lot. It really is a lot to unpack and to help people understand more about why people, because a lot of times people, they're like, man, how come you didn't do it earlier? There's so much in that. So many people trying to, you know, maintain a job or maintain reputation, or they deal with the issue of people not thinking that's real. And, you know, yeah, man, well, it's still a taboo. You're still marked in a way that's negative, even if you're the victim in many circles, in many cases. And so, yeah, it's pretty bad. I really stand up and support people who do speak out, you know, to that. And yeah, so hopefully if the allegations are true, hopefully justice is served, man. So